I need you to get out of the street.
What's your name real quick?
Officer Myers, 6181.
I'm recording you on purpose.
That's fine.
I'm recording you specifically on purpose.
What I fucking tell you, I told you, I fucking told you. Fuck that bitch. You know what's funny? Her sergeant gave us permission to be there.
Oh, really?
That fucking sergeant,
Well, I'm going to keep walking by. I'm going to keep walking back and forth.
From the very first second, you can feel the tension simmering under the surface. A simple question kicks open the door to something much bigger. If someone can stand close to police with popcorn, why does a camera suddenly turn into a threat? And that's the hook of this entire encounter, the quiet but powerful clash between public rights and police comfort. We're watching a citizen who knows the law, who knows his rights, and who refuses to bow to intimidation, even as the officer's patience thins. This isn't just a random street recording, this is a test of constitutional boundaries in real time. On one side, you've got a citizen armed with nothing but a camera and knowledge. On the other, a police officer who's about to demonstrate exactly what happens when authority feels challenged by accountability. There's history here, tension from past interactions, and tonight it all bubbles up. As we move through this video, pay close attention to the small details, contradictions, tone shifts, selective enforcement, and the moments where body language says more than the words being spoken. Because what you're about to see isn't confusion. It isn't miscommunication. It's a clash between ego and transparency, a collision that exposes how unevenly the rules get applied, depending on who's holding the popcorn and who's holding the camera. Buckle up, this one gets wild.
let's say we're standing like between the cop cars. Since you guys are standing there, right, and the cars are here, are we cool to stand there and just like, not like be up on you, but just like in the median?
But it's not illegal for us to stand in the middle right here at this time?
Since the car here, you guys...
so as long as you guys are cognizant of that, if we need emergency medical attention.
And if you guys gotta go hands-on or whatever the case, you know, medical pulls up, we'll get out, but we respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and step out of the street for me.
What's your name again?
I already told you, get out of the street.
Is that a lawful order?
Yep.
It is?
Get out of the street. You're
What's
a pedestrian in a roadway.
It's a lawful order?
Pedestrian in a roadway. I need you to
What
get out
would
of
be
the
the
street.
crime, though?
Do so now or you will be arrested.
I just talked
Get
to
out of the
your sergeant.
street.
Your sergeant just told me I can be here. Why do you think I'm back? Yeah. We just had a conversation.
The moment right here is where the power struggle really starts to take shape. Notice how calm the citizen is, how measured his questions are. He's not rushing, not shouting, not obstructing anything. He's simply trying to clarify the rules, because rules, when applied fairly, don't scare people. But look at how Officer Myers reacts: short, clipped responses, repeated commands, and zero willingness to engage in dialogue. That's usually a sign not of danger, but of discomfort. What makes this especially interesting is that the sergeant had already approved their positioning. So the question becomes, why is Myers enforcing something completely different? Is it miscommunication, selective enforcement, or personal bias creeping in? This is where you start to see the cracks, the inconsistencies that reveal more about the officer's mindset than her words ever could. The citizen knows his rights, and that alone seems to set Myers off. Watch how the tension escalates from here, not because the situation changes, but because accountability enters the scene.
I told her as long as they stay out of our way.
He's not. He's totally in my way.
Just stay out of her way, that's all
I'm not in your way.
You're in my personal bubble, though. Okay, and it makes me uncomfortable. I have weapons on me that are within hands reach.
You're escalating and you're raising your voice. You've been aggressive since the beginning.
Back away from me.
Is it illegal? I'm not. Is there a crime scene? I'm not interfering with anything.
No, but you are in my area. I need you to back away. You're within hands.
Order? Could you give me a lawful? What's the law?
You're within hands reach of my weapons, and I need you to back up.
Like about a year ago, like I said, she used my government name, said where I work, and she knew what she was doing, because she knows I post my interactions on YouTube. Simple as that. And I do need her business card now, because I will be filing a complaint. Nothing would be If I could just say hey, why are you videoing first?
Here, we witness one of the most common and most telling patterns in confrontational police encounters, the shift from law to emotion. Myers isn't citing statutes. She isn't describing a safety hazard. She's demanding compliance through force of tone alone, and that's where things unravel. The citizen calls out the contradiction. The sergeant said it was fine. Instead of explaining the discrepancy, Myers doubles down, repeating the same order but with rising frustration. This is classic ego versus accountability behavior. When officers feel their authority is questioned, especially on camera, the instinct often becomes escalation, not explanation. And look at the citizen's posture, calm, steady, rooted in facts. He forces her to confront the inconsistency, and that's something some officers simply aren't trained to handle well. Transparency shouldn't threaten professionalism, but here it clearly does. The camera becomes the equalizer, and Myers knows it.
Allowed to stand right next to you. I thought you couldn't have anyone next to your gun like that. Remember what you told me? It's just me because I got a camera, or what? And because you were so rude to my girlfriend last time you talked to her? How come you weren't going to arrest that guy for being on? But that guy was cool, huh? Myers, I think you got pretty.
Adds a whole new dimension to the conflict. The citizen reveals that this isn't their first encounter, and the prior one involved the officer allegedly using his real government name on purpose. That's not a small accusation. That's retaliation territory, the kind of behavior that blurs the line between officer and aggressor. And now, context matters. If she truly did that knowing he posts interactions online, that's not a protective act, that's a punitive one. It turns the camera into a threat to her, not because he's breaking laws, but because he's exposing patterns. Her sudden concern about her personal bubble and proximity to her weapons reads more like justification than genuine fear. Officers carry weapons every day around crowds, protests, and busy streets without panicking. So why now? Why him? It's the combination of history, recording, and accountability that flips the switch, and she reacts not as a professional managing a situation, but as someone determined to regain control of a previous narrative she did.
Why do you guys all film the same thing? Wouldn't you get better footage if you guys split up?
We do. We split up. And we'll share each other's footage.
It just seems like you guys are following each other. It seems like you'd get more footage if you.
That's true. We do split up temporarily, and then we come back just in case somebody's in trouble. I don't like him to get too far out of my range, you know.
Oh, so
just in case something happens to him.
Keep an eye on him.
We keep an eye on each other, yeah. So he'll venture off. He got some stuff over there. I might borrow that from him, stuff like that. So,
but they're two different channels.
Yeah, we share footage, stuff like that. But hey, man, I just want to let you know, I think I like your demeanor. You're cool. The reason I was recording Myers is because how rude she was to my girlfriend several months ago, and then I came over here and she was threatening me with arrest for standing in that median.
Your girlfriend?
Okay. Yeah, my girlfriend. She does recording too, and she had an interaction with Myers, and she was really rude to her.
When was that?
How long ago was that?
Well, like close to a year now.
About a year ago, yeah.
I was like, I stand over here. That light's give me a migraine.
Yeah, let me just turn that off for you, bro.
At this point, the conversation becomes a masterclass in exposing selective enforcement. You can practically see the officer's frustration boiling over, because every time she tries to assert authority, the citizen counters with logic. Not aggression. Not provocation. Logic. And logic is the one thing that ego-driven policing cannot coexist with. The term pedestrian in a roadway becomes her verbal.
There's some guy right there, and I called her out on it. I was like, hey, man, how come you're not threatening him with arrest for standing in the median, right? So that's all, man. It's just like it can't be selective persecution, right? It has to be for everyone. So I appreciate you not discriminating against us because we have cameras. She just doesn't like it. And so, but you can't threaten people with arrest for doing something if they're allowed. Well, she's in public, so there's no expectation of privacy in public, right?
Yeah.
You know that. So.
I'm just wondering from,
I typically try
humanity.
Right. No, I'm not trying to deny people's humanity, but like typically I'll try to keep people off if they don't want. Government officials.
Blur their face or something?
I have blurred people's faces before, but I usually don't do that because that kind of takes the point of what we're doing away, because like I said,
Now comes the final crack in the facade, the popcorn moment. This is the simplest, clearest demonstration of selective enforcement you'll ever see. If a man casually standing with popcorn can approach officers without threats, warnings, or commands, then the personal space argument collapses instantly. The only variable that changed? The camera. This is why recording matters. It reveals who the officer treats as a threat and who they treat as harmless. Myers' silence when confronted speaks volumes. She can't justify it, because justification would require acknowledging bias. Instead, she tries to redirect, ignore, deflect. But the citizen doesn't let it slide. He pins down the contradiction with a single, devastating observation: so it's fine with popcorn, but not a camera? That's the moment the narrative breaks. Not because he insulted her. Not because he yelled. But because he spoke the truth out loud, and the camera.
it's not actually for her safety. I mean, you guys seem pretty decent, so I don't feel like you guys are going to be doing anything crazy, but that's what we do. We're just here to protect them. So
Yeah, and I understand, filming us, and obviously I have no problem with that. I'm just wondering, when you have a citizen that says, you know what, man, I understand I'm the public, but I don't want to be on your channel, do you guys normally say okay, or?
if somebody says, "Hey, I don't want to be recorded," and we're just in public, I'll keep them off. But if they try to like start a conversation with me, then I'm recording because I document every interaction I have. So if I don't mind keeping them off, if they don't want it. But a lot of times people come up, like walk up to me and say, "Hey, I don't want to be recorded," and I'm like, "I wasn't even going to record you, but you came up to me, so you're talking to me now, so now I'm going to record you." But no, typically, like if I go into a government building, I'll specifically try to keep them off. If I do record them, it's usually inadvertently. Yeah.
Hey, sir. You get pulled over tonight. Can I see your license and registration? I smell alcohol coming from the vehicle.
Suddenly, the tone shifts dramatically. A different officer steps into frame, and the contrast is immediate. Calm voice. Open posture. Questions instead of commands. This is policing at its most effective: communication, not confrontation. And what happens when the officer treats the citizen with respect? The citizen responds the same way. No tension, no escalation, no arguing, just conversation. This moment is a subtle but powerful reminder: the problem isn't the camera. It's how some officers react to being filmed. Cameras don't create bad behavior. They document it. When the second officer engages with the citizen respectfully, the danger magically disappears, showing that the issue was never about safety, it was about control. This is the model people want to see: accountability met with professionalism. But the contrast also exposes just how poorly Myers handled the same situation. Not because she lacked authority, but because she lacked composure. And in law enforcement, composure matters as much as any.
Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yeah. Okay, driver's license, proof of insurance, registration, please.
The emergency
got
brake's
ID on
on,
you?
bud.
I don't know where it's at.
It's down here. You see it right there?
Oh,
All right.
you're here.
So that shows the signs of intoxication. Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the vehicle here shortly. Alrighty, thank you for cooperating. And hard to see you, okay? Good. Thank you. Oh.
That's cool though. You guys didn't have it towed. You guys are just gonna leave it here. Yeah, that's right on. We like that.
She'll probably, a lot of times somebody will have like a friend come and pick it up.
Encounter winds down, the message becomes unmistakably clear: the law protects the right to record, and accountability thrives when both sides understand that. The citizen wasn't trying to interfere, provoke, or escalate, he was documenting. And documentation is the cornerstone of transparency. Meanwhile, Officer Myers' reactions revealed a troubling pattern: inconsistency, emotional decision-making, and selective enforcement based on who was holding the camera. But the contrasting behavior of the second officer reminds us what professionalism actually looks like. Respectful dialogue. Clear communication. No ego, no hostility, just understanding. That's the standard the public deserves.